Hi, welcome everyone. In this project, we are going to learn how to develop a web app that evaluates the shear force and bending moment diagrams of a proper cantilever beam with flexible spring supports from scratch using Python Flask and OpenSeesPy. The main objective of this project is to make students, especially civil engineering students, understand what is a web app, how do they work, understanding the basic structure and architecture of a web app from the front end and back end's point of view. And finally, we will be going to learn to build a simple web app for evaluating and drawing shear force and bending moment diagrams of a proper cantilever beam with flexible spring supports using Python Flask and OpenSeesPy. Let's take a look at a simple web app. This is a web app that evaluates the point of intersection of two straight lines. So let's give two equations. First one, let's take y is equals to 5x plus 3, and the second line equation, y is equals to 10x plus 4. When you press this find intersection button, it displays the equations that we have given and the intersection point that it evaluated, and finally a graph showing the intersection point in Cartesian coordinate system. In this project, we are going to learn and develop how to build a simple web app using Python Flask, a micro web framework, and OpenSeesPy, a structural analysis tool for evaluating and drawing shear force and bending moment diagrams of a proper cantilever beam with flexible supports for a variety of input values such as length, load, spring stiffness, etc. We have designed this project in a very simple manner. By the end of this project, every student should be able to understand what is a web app and capable of developing a web app. This project comes in three parts. In the first part, we build a simple web app to evaluate and display the intersection point of two straight lines using Flask web framework. This part is designed to introduce you the basic architecture and structure of a Flask based web app from scratch. Our developed web app in this part will look like this. This web app evaluates and displays the point of intersection of two straight lines. Let's give two straight lines. For example, y is equals to 5x plus 3 and y is equals to 10x plus 4. When you press this find intersection button, Python in the backend will evaluate the point of intersection of these two given straight lines and displays it here. In part 2, we develop the main web app of this project, that is a web app that evaluates the shear force and bending moment diagrams of a proper cantilever beam. Our developed web app in this part will look like this. It takes three input values, namely the length, the load, and the spring stiffness. When we press this evaluate button, it evaluates the shear force, bending moment in the backend and displays it here. Let's try out this app. Let's give some input values. For example, say for length is 200 mm and load 50 Newton and spring stiffness 2 Newton per meter. So these are the shear force and bending moment diagrams for this given set of input values. In part 3 of this project, we will apply stylings to our main web app developed in part 2 using Bootstrap front-end framework. Our developed web app in this part will look like this. It is the same web app that we saw in part 2 of this project, but with a different look and feel. The web app that we build in this project is not only a useful tool for evaluating shear force and bending moment values and diagrams, but it is also an excellent educational resource. See you all in the project. If you have any questions or need any help, you are always welcome to post them in the course discussion forum, and also you can always email them to elastropy@gmail.com. Happy learning. Thank you.